So the new iPads have some pretty darn cool features. Hey guys, Mark here. So this video is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be one of those videos where I just sit here and I list all the tech features and just go on and on and on about, the 120 hertz screen and the A12X Bionic chip and all that stuff. It's going to be more so my experience. Yes, I will go into those details just a little bit, but it's more about my experience and how it pertains to you guys. Should you buy it? Should you not buy it? Etc. So there's so much to like about the new iPad Pro's design. I mean, you've got those tiny bezels, the corners that are very, very characteristic, the rounded corners. You've got that amazing 120 hertz true motion display. And I'll be honest, guys, that's probably one of the best displays I have ever seen on a tablet, period. TV shows and movies look absolutely stunning on it. And as long as you're not using it outdoors in the bright sunlight, because you could run into some problems there because the peak brightness is really not that great. But if you're using it indoors, that's where it really shines, especially with those really slim bezels and the screen just goes almost right to the edge of the new iPads. Many apps have already been updated to use the new aspect ratio of the iPad Pros, and some apps, even gaming apps, have actually been updated to use the 120 hertz of that display, which looks so good in the new Assassin's Creed games and like Asphalt games and stuff like that. It just looks amazing to game on. If you're into mobile gaming, this is the tablet for you. All right, so the design is not all sunshine and rainbows though. I'm sure you've already seen the incredible amount of videos out there that have been discussing the bend gate issues of the new iPad Pros. And this is nothing new to Apple. I mean, this iPad in particular is one of the thinnest products that Apple has ever produced, and it shows. And that's definitely a concern, no doubt about it. I mean, never in my life have I ever so gingerly held and used a product. Like if I'm walking around with this thing without a case, whoo boy, I am terrified that I'm going to drop this thing, it's gonna smash, or I'm going to put it somewhere and it's gonna bend. And it does take a little bit of a toll on my mind. So you're gonna want a thick case anyway. And I mean, Apple, if I have to put a really thick case on my iPad to protect it from bending, can't you just make a little bit of a thicker iPad and include the headphone jack while you're at it? Because that'd be great. With Apple's A12X Bionic chip, this is easily the fastest tablet I've ever used. Apple came out on launch and basically claimed that the tablet is faster than 90% of all laptops on the market. And that's actually true. Like this tablet is insanely fast. It can chug through 4K video editing with no problems whatsoever. There's no blips, there's no stuttering. I honestly have nothing bad to say about its performance as a whole. I mean, I took it on several long plane rides. I've edited it on it all day and it runs really, really smoothly all the time. The battery life is great. I've got nothing really to say that knocks the performance on this iPad. So when you pair the Apple Pencil 2, not the 1, because the 1 has the Lightning connector and the new iPads actually have USB-C. Thank you, Apple. When you pair the new Pencil, things start to get super interesting for both students and artists alike. There's tons and tons and tons of drawing apps, and they all work really, really well with the new Apple Pencil. Even if you can't really draw, like my boy Tyson here, you can still have a ton of fun just messing around in these apps. If you're a student and you like to take notes in class, say goodbye to paper because it almost feels just as natural writing on the iPad as it does on paper. And you can actually get these like screen protectors that go over it that makes it feel even more like paper. If I were to pick one singular group of people that I would 1000% recommend the new iPad Pros to, it would be students. Cameras on iPads have always been a little strange to me. Have you ever seen those like wannabe photographers in weddings holding up their iPads way above everyone else, blocking the aisles? Yeah, everyone taking their photos on an iPad kind of looks dumb like that. But, if you're a student, I kind of get it. Sometimes you might want to take a picture of the whiteboard or what the teacher's writing, etc. So I kind of get it, but that is pretty much the extent of the use case of the camera, at least the rear camera on this iPad, because they're good, but they're not great. The front camera is more or less the same story. It's great for FaceTime calling, but not much more than that. All right, so there's only really one singular problem that I have with the new iPad Pros, other than the fact that it bends, and its name is iOS 12. iOS 12 is the sole reason I would not give up my laptop for this tablet. Now, don't get me wrong, iOS 12 is a great little operating system for a tablet. It's fast, it's efficient, it's simple to use, and it's the most frustrating operating system on planet Earth. For example, I can't import footage from my Sony cameras into this tablet, even with a USB-C hub that has an SD card reader or something like that in it. I plug the SD card reader in and the import window pops up and none of my video files are in it. They don't exist. Even if I have a USB-C to USB-C external SSD or hard drive, I can't even plug it into the iPad Pro because the iPad Pros, at least right now, don't recognize external storage devices. So for me, with this 64 gigabyte iPad Pro, like what am I gonna do for external storage? Google Drive? Come on, Apple. The list goes on and on and on. I recently took this tablet to another province in Canada, and I only just took this tablet. I didn't take a laptop or anything like that, just to see how long I could survive and if it was even a viable option for me to leave my full laptop at home and just exclusively use this tablet. To be honest, there were several points where I just really wish I had my laptop with me for just some simple annoyances that I could have solved really, really quickly on my laptop that just could not be solved whatsoever on the iOS device that is the iPad Pro. For real though, I love this tablet and I wish I could love it just so much more. It's super fast, it's super powerful, it's super lightweight and portable, but the limitations of iOS 12 prevent me from using it to its full potential because there's so much potential there. I just can't access it. And that's a real shame. So what do you think? Are the new iPad Pros for you? Let me know in a comment below because I'm actually genuinely curious. I'll try and respond to everyone I can. If you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to support my content because I'll definitely have more of this stuff in the future. And as always, have a great day.